Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Vertical Take with Jennifer and Taha. But actually, this is not your regular episode. This is the Vertical Take, the Hot Seat edition. And this is episode 1 of the Hot Seat edition. I'll put
And
out
who do we
another.
have in the hot seat? Cayla and Linden, the cast of Spring Break Bucket List. Yay!
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for organizing, guys.
Thank you so much for finding the time to actually come on, because it was daunting to get you
Many
guys
different
on.
time zones. We made it work.
Yes.
We did make it work, even though Spring Break Bucket List has been out for a hot 2 weeks, but it's okay. Better late than never.
I knew having co-stars that live across the world from each other would be such a complicated schedule.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to dive right into it. So let's start big.
Cool.
What do you think makes Spring Break Bucket List stand out from other Spring Break or even teen romance drama verticals?
Linden, you want to go?
Sure.
Okay,
I think the stakes are so ridiculously high.
Mm-hmm.
Like all verticals, the intensity is so high. There's so much drama. I think as well, there's so many different setups, and the structure of it with ticking off Juliet's bucket list. There's so many different setups, and like me as my character as Ryder, like I get to do so many fun things. So there's singing, there's dancing, there's stunts, there's so many different things, and I think that really makes it fun and exciting and works perfectly for that short form series.
Yeah. Definitely agree with Linden. And then also, I think just the fact that it takes this classic story of Romeo and Juliet and sort of makes it super YA and understandable, I guess, for like a younger audience, really helps too. Because, it like puts these two characters that, everyone knows. You probably first heard about Romeo and Juliet in elementary school or, when you're really young, and just putting them in a situation with a pool and like a fun like spring break setting and a lot of hot weather. These are just things that every kid experiences. It's
it was very fun, like watching Jules kind of transform herself. Like she went from being this kind of shy, introverted kind of wallflower to being this, just out there. I mean, she was still kind of, in her shell, but yeah, she really kind of came out. So that was interesting. I love that little journey.
Her transformation always gets me. I just remember when they were putting me in that outfit, and I was like, no way. And then
did her so dirty.
And when I first watched it, the scene where I like cackled when Tess walks by Jules and she doesn't notice her, and Jules is like, hello, it's me, and she's like, do I know you? I'm like, stop. I'm like, what kind of best friend?
Literally. For a second I thought that's not her best friend. I'm like, who's this random person?
Yeah. No, Jules should have been like, who are you?
Right.
No, but it was a big transformation, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So Jules and Ryder come from feuding families. How did you both approach playing that tension while showing their connection?
Okay, so I'll start with this one. Definitely approaching the connection just by sort of processing all of the different aspects that are in the script of like why their families hate each other. There's like so many skeletons in the closet, literally. So just this like back and forth of the feud of their families that has literally like caused both of their lives to sort of be destructed. And they've both lost people in their families. That's sort of the thing that I feel like causes the tension, but also causes a lot of connection between them because they are able to sort of look at it all with fresh eyes since they are so young. And, when you're young, you like see the best in everyone. And I think that honestly helps build their connection too. For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think too, even though they're on different sides of warring families, they're both experiencing the same thing, or there's a lot of expectations on their shoulders and they can kind of relate from being in that environment and having that family structure, as crazy and traumatic as it is. Wow!
Whoa! What a surprise!
Sorry, I had a shooting until yesterday night and I just woke up.
Oh, Mauricio.
It's okay,
Yeah. I think what Cayla was saying, like having the open communication with Mauricio and talking through the script and the circumstances of their families and what the feud kind of, what the history of it is. And then as well, I think for the two of them, while they're coming from two warring families, they do have the relatability of like they're both in the same circumstance. There's a lot of expectation on their shoulders and they can kind of relate in that sense, which kind of brings them closer together as well. Yeah.
No, definitely. Mauricio, would you like to say anything on that?
Yeah, I think this was something that we try to work from the script level where there would be tension, but it's also romance and it's also comedy. So one thing that we added was that Jules, she is black belt jiu-jitsu. So whenever Linden approached her, you know, she doesn't let people bully her. It slaps on her face like it's a trope in the verticals. So she gives like a choke with her legs on Ryder. She defends the slap. And that kind of make her more likable, I think. And at the same time, Linden, because he has this kind of, makes him more attracted to her. Because like, he can get all the girls, but this one seems a little more complicated. So I think that was one very specific thing we added that made their chemistry stronger.
True. Love that.
No, absolutely. And I loved the fact that she wasn't a damsel in distress, but I still love the fact that you guys had the typical tropes that are in a vertical, like the drugging, the pushing in the pool. Like it still had the features of a vertical, but still she wasn't that much of a damsel where she's getting kidnapped or she's like getting bullied around. Like she was there to stand for herself. Definitely. Well, that was interesting. Your characters have a lot of emotional tension. How did you build that chemistry on set?
Your turn.
You want me to start? All right. I would say it's like having a couple days before shooting just to get to know one another and building that friendship and then being on the same page and communicating like, you know, how are you feeling about this scene? You know, what's the subtext, what's happening? And just having that genuine like friendship and working together. Like Mauricio really facilitated that, taking us out for some great dinners and having a good table read and some costume stuff beforehand. So we kind of came in prepared. And I think when you're in situations like that where you're traveling internationally with people as well, like you form friendships really quickly because you're working long hours and you're together and it's also fast paced. So very quickly it felt like we all kind of clicked.
Yeah, definitely agreed. I think it all comes from like a very real place. Like, you know, Ryder and Juliet have I'm smiling because I so badly want to say Ryder.
Ryder Marshall. That's fine.
Ryder Marshall. But they have like, you know, this like super intense like romantic connection. I think that like stems from like a friendship and an admiration for each other. And I think, like Linden and I feel like we have a lot in common and sort of like discovered that early on and are just like very similar people in terms of like, you know, how we like, I just remember walking into the table read and like everyone was already there and they had done their fitting. And I walked in and everyone was like, hey, like excited. And I already felt like so welcomed and at home. And I think just like continuously building off of that, like shared interests and just like goofing around and having fun, like made it really easy to get into the characters' interest in each other.
Yeah. What moment in the series do you think really shows the real Jules and Ryder beneath all the drama?
I can start for me.
Yeah,
I think when Ryder finds out that Jules is pregnant, really shows like him becoming a man and what he truly values, and him lacking that familial connection growing up, like him really wanting to step into that role of a father and a lover and a protector. I think you really see him mature in that moment, and you see his vulnerability come out.
Yeah,
Agreed.
definitely. I mean, I think there's a couple of like feisty moments that Jules and Ryder have between each other that is like sort of the real them. Like I would find that like when they, you know, get married and have their children or child, whichever they decide, that they would still have that sort of like fun, like flirty tension a little bit. But then I think, yeah, like also the scene where they're running away and it's the whole family coming together. And you know, she tells her dad she's in the wedding dress and they're about to run off, and yeah, they're just like standing on their side and the family's on the other, and they're sticking up for themselves. I feel like that's a really like strong moment for them as a couple.
No, it's amazing how you say that, because we thought it was going to be more bloody, but the moment Linden was like, well, Ryder was like, "Oh, I'll take the last name." He's like, "Oh, really? Okay, I can work with that." That was funny.
Yeah, switched up real quick. Yeah.
It really did. And then your grandmother was like, "I take it back," and I'm like,
yes, that's one of my favorites. She's like, "Well, you just disowned him." Well, I take it back.
Literally.
Yeah.
And the cousins are just grinning in the corner, like, "What did I know? We're here."
And we're like, Thanksgiving's gonna be very interesting.
I love that line.
Yeah.
Was that improv?
No, actually, no, that was
That was in
actually
there.
in it.
Yeah.
That was in there.
I think that was such a
well-
big moment for them as a couple, is like coming to the head of their family and taking charge and being like, this feud, no one even remembers what we're feuding about, like let's all come together, and them kind of steering the future of their family in a different direction. So it's powerful.
What I was going to say was, I think as a viewer's standpoint is, I feel like Ryder changed. Like he kind of had that transformation when he was getting ready to record their interaction, and then all of a sudden he just like has a split moment where he's like, he throws the shirt over the camera. It was like, oh, I feel like that kind of like transformed him from realizing like what he wanted. So yeah.
I feel like
Wait,
the real
totally.
transformation happened after they were drugged, and the cousin, what do you call it, took Ryder's phone and released it, because he was when the act was happening, he was still unsure. That's why he had his phone out. If he had turned a new leaf, there wouldn't have been a recording in the first place.
Well,
That's
he
just my
threw the
perspective.
shirt over the video.
But the video was still recorded though, because it was released on TikTok.
The
I
start
think
of it, the start of it.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
when push came to shove and he's in that situation, he just couldn't go through with it, and that's when you see his true feelings come out, where he's like, I can't do it to this girl, and I really have caught feelings for her. But I love Ryder's transformation. It's such a fun thing to play, and he goes through such a big one, similar to Jules, and it's like he starts out as this egotistical F-boy and then transforms into this Prince Charming, and that was so fun to play, like just all the different colors of Ryder, and all the different scenarios with all the bucket list items were just so fun to film. Like, I think that's what made this one really fun as well. Just like so many different setups and so much variety, and I think that comes across when you watch it as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think in this series, one thing that's really nice in this script is that the characters, they have a growth throughout the series. So it starts on the phone and he starts questioning his morals. And for Jules as well, she transforms at the start, like she becomes a butterfly, she goes to the spring break, and then but it's just external, but there she also matures. It's not in a lot of verticals, they just transform in the very last episode, but here we have a growth throughout the whole series, and it was really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Mao also really wanted, I just remember like how important that moment was. So it's so great that you pointed that out, Jennifer, like when he does throw the shorts over
The shorts.
the camera. I just remember that being a really big moment when we were filming. So I'm glad that you pointed that out.
Perfect. So, Cayla,
Yes.
what's a moment in the story that for you really defines Jules's journey?
I think when they're at lunch and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on Natasha's character's name.
Natasha is the cousin?
Yeah, what was it, Linden?
Maeve.
Maeve.
Yeah.
Thank you. When Maeve is, trying to embarrass her by being like, you have a bucket list? That's so embarrassing. And then Jules sort of like decides in that moment to like stand up for herself in front of everyone. And she's like, I'm not afraid to hope and to dream. And she's like looking at Linden when he says it. And I think that's also a really big moment of connection for them too. But I think that's just like, she can fight physically with her, black belt in jiu-jitsu, and then also with her words and standing up for herself, even when it's awkward and she has all eyes on her too. She really blossomed in that moment, I thought.
Yeah.
I forgot about, yes, she did have a black belt. And I loved how she was just like, she went and like spun Linden around, like had him in like a little headlock. And
Yeah.
I was like,
That was
yes,
so
girl.
So, Mauricio, what do you think really defined Jules's journey from your vision as a director?
I agree with Cayla. I love that moment. I think it was so beautiful with the way Cayla delivered concept. Even when we were watching the editing, I just want to keep the whole thing, like the whole speech, because it was really beautiful. I think both Linden and Cayla, I liked it from the start, and we adjusted the schedule for them, to fit both of them in the show. It's funny, Cayla said she arrived in the table reading directly from the airport. She came like immigration, taxi, table reading.
Now, for the viewers who may not know, where was this filmed exactly?
We shot in Vietnam. And
Vietnam.
Cayla was in holidays with her family somewhere.
Yes, I was in Canada. It was so crazy. Yeah, I wrapped a shoot, flew to Canada to be with my family for a week. Then I had to fly to Arizona for a concert that I had planned like 6 months before, and then flew back to Los Angeles and then to Vietnam from there.
Wow.
I was like, I was with Cayla. What's the earliest you can get here? Linden, can you push these days? I was like, with both of them.
Similar to what we had to go through.
Yeah, right.
Not that being my reputation.
They're hot.
No, you're good.
Well, thank you.
Now,
guys. Seriously, I was so grateful for that. Yeah, when Mal said that he was willing to do that, I was so grateful. It was because this was such an amazing project. I loved it from the moment I read the script. And
and this was
one of
fun
the best projects.
The platform, April, she was like, "Oh my god, why are you guys changing the dates?" I said, "We changed the dates for Cayla." Then she watched the tape, she's like, "Okay, you guys can change the dates."
Yes. So now, Linden, what do you think Ryder's biggest internal struggle is throughout the story?
I think for him, it's where his allegiance lies, if it's with his family and his bloodline, or if it's with his heart and this girl who he's fallen for. I mean, all he's ever known is his family, and he's going to become the heir, and he has all this expectation on his shoulders, and then he falls for Jules, and it's such a big thing to, go with his gut instinct and leave everything he's ever known and really go against and risk, disconnecting from his whole family. So I think that's the crux for him. Yeah, that's his internal struggle of like, he's never experienced love like that before. And when he does, it's like, opens up a world of possibilities of what life could be like. And I think he stands up for that and goes with his gut instinct.
Yeah. Mauricio, what do you think?
I agree with him. I think he's the guy who he can get all the girls. He's handsome. He has many. But I think Jules, she brings something different from the table. You know, she's not a girl who can easily go with him. She has a strong personality as well, and I think that changes him. And I think all these moments Jennifer was mentioned, like when he's recording or when she wakes up, and he has to fight for her, like he has to chase her, and he's not used to that. And I think that kind of is a big waking up for his character, and I love the way Linden he delivered and he played a character for that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So, Cayla,
Yeah.
Jules has some pretty bold moments. Which
Yes.
scene made you feel the most empowered playing her?
Ooh. I think, I mean, yeah, like going back to that speech, I think that was a really big moment. But I also did love her like physical combat moments. So, like even right in the beginning, when those two guys try to mess with her, and she like, you know, sends one of them to the ground. Sticks his arm out, and then later on with Linden with Ryder when she gets saved from the pool and puts him in the headlock. Yeah, I think those honestly were moments that honestly I haven't really had in any other projects that I've done. So it made me as like a person feel empowered, and then Juliet, I feel like as well.
I've never seen a main be in a headlock on a girl's area like that in a vertical. So props to you guys for delivering on that, because that's something totally unique that no one, I believe, has ever accomplished. So give yourself a pat on the back for that, and pat on the back for Mauricio for executing that gracefully, you know, with his ideas. Amazing.
So great.
Cayla executed. We were just concerned that he doesn't do the real lock, because the person can faint if you do the part like real.
Yeah, it was very close to real, but I'm pretty sure there was the barriers and everything, and you know, the intimacy coordinator and all of that. I'm pretty sure that must have been there.
Definitely. And it took me a little bit to actually get like the lockdown too. Like I just remember we would do it a couple of times in rehearsal, and the stunt coordinator would come back and I was like, "Was that good?" And he was like, and I was like, I just remember one time he was like, and I was like, okay, because it's so like particular the way that you have to do it, like where your legs have to go.
Especially because it's quick, you have to like swing your legs up quickly and then get the lock happening, and that's what the tricky part. Yeah.
But I did nail it. Listen, I got it in one of them, so I was proud of that.
Definitely, yeah.
Because if you were to do it in real life, there's one way of doing it, but then on camera you need to do it you need to tweak it so that it looks good on camera. So it's awkward in general doing it. But no, I totally get it. And hey, it came out awesome. So props to you guys for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Linden, he did so Ryder did cross a something off of a bucket list. I won't say what it was, but if Ryder had his own bucket list, what do you think the first thing would be? What would it be if he had his own bucket list?
I'm going to go with a deep answer that I think is seen through his character arc. And I think it is following his heart and falling for someone and loving someone, because all his relationships prior to that point are all superficial. It's all very transactional. It's all very looks-based, status. And then, you know, he actually gets hit with the feels and he puts himself out there and is vulnerable. And I think it's something that he never knew he wanted and craved so much. And then when he experiences that with Jules, it's like, it's all he wants, to the point where he's willing to walk away from all his wealth, his whole family, and just become a new man for her.
Okay.
Because I think as well for Ryder, it's like, he has the material possessions. He's ticked off all the flashy stuff. Like, you know, family probably has the private jet, the helicopters, the, you know, the summer vacay spot. And and he's already done all that flashy stuff. So I think like for him, this is the next big adventure and something genuine that actually means something. And he realizes that, you know, all this wealth and monetary value is nothing without that connection.
And I think you hit it right on the head when you said that he was very like flashy, because of the fact that the one that I was referring to was whenever he got the tattoo on his chest, and it's like, that's a pretty bold thing to do.
Yeah, and I love that
I know
moment as well.
it's a vertical, but
yeah, I still have the tattoo. No, I'm joking.
he's so dedicated.
I think that's such a fun moment as well, because it's so boy. It's just like he's so giddy in love and would do anything for this girl. He's like, just gonna go tattoo her name on my chest. It's like he's fully committed, full sends it, and it's a fun moment for sure. It was fun to play. I love that scene in general. Like very 10 Things I Hate About You, like the whole serenading scene, and I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was a small tattoo, like it was huge.
Oh yeah. I think it was originally smaller, and they were like, "Oh, we need to make it bigger." So it was quite a sizable piece. Yeah.
Well, that just goes
like
to
a tan line of it, also, or something.
I did, yeah.
Like we were in the sun at the beach, and then he took it off later, and there was a tan line of where it said Jules across his chest.
I had Jules with the love heart sunburnt into my chest.
Oh shit.
My plan is working.
So funny.
Well, it just goes to show how young your characters are, because one could perceive that as a very young thing to do. I'll tattoo my love's name on my chest, or tattoo it. You know, I'm not saying that their character's going to regret it later on, but it's such a young thing. It just shows how young they are in age and, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just my perspective.
Love it.
Moving on. Was there a scene that was especially challenging to film, either emotionally or technically? This is for all three of you. Mauricio, you can go first.
Yeah.
The one thing that was funny is that the rain, we want to shoot like...
I was going to say the same thing.
Yes, and then it was really raining, but then the sky wasn't looking pretty, and Linden and Cayla, oh, let's go, and we're like, oh, but it's too gray, we have to do tomorrow, so we have to postpone the day, and then in the next day we did the rain, and of course it looks fun, it looks pretty, we had some smoke, but I mean, they are like completely wet there, and then the sun is, the floor is very slippery, and then I think it's really hard for them, and they have to be like cool, but technically it's complicated to do.
It was insane because the time we had scheduled to film the dancing in the rain scene, it was actually raining, but it was raining too much to the point where it wasn't great for the gear to be outside, and Mao was worried about it not reading on camera because it's very hard to see actual rain like on screen. But Cayla and I were so up for like, it's actually raining, scheduling wise, that is insane. Like, let's go. We were like doing the dances, we're so ready to get out there. But it turned out really well because I think the whole spring break vibe, the fact it was blue skies and they get the rest of the gang to kind of have the hoses going and the smoke bombs. Like I'm so happy with how that scene turned out, and the shots looked amazing. And that's some of the first like bits of playback we kind of saw as well. And it just gave me like, oh, this is so cool. Like some great shots in there. So the cinematography and the locations, like shout out to you guys because it looked great.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a question for Mauricio about that, because I asked Linden in the beginning. I noticed that in that scene, there's a lot of color, like from Cayla's got pink in her hair. Then you've got the blue and the pink smoke bomb, things like that. Was that like intentional, or was that just kind of like it was, you know?
Yes. So, okay. Well, yeah, it's intentional. We usually don't say, but it's part of the character. So Linden, he wears a lot of blue, and his family. And Cayla, because of the field and the Cayla family, they wear pink. And that moment we had the mix of the colors.
It also foreshadows. It kind of foreshadows the well, I don't know. Spoiler if anyone hasn't seen it yet, but the
This
pregnancy.
whole thing is a spoiler.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah, that's actually so true. Boy or girl, what's it gonna be?
Yeah, it like foreshadows. It's like a little gender reveal, but it's like not. It's
Yeah,
gender
yeah.
Right.
But you could.
But
You
what
could
was
It's
it?
right before
Spoiler.
that scene as well. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
I love that. Yeah, a gender reveal, because that's what they usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So Cayla, we didn't get your input. Anything challenging emotionally or technically?
Yeah. I mean, well, first I just want to say thanks to Mal for putting up with Linden and I literally being like, please, can we film it? Please, right now, please, 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 please. Come on, it's raining. When does this ever happen? And they were like, we can't. And we're like, no, we have to. We like were so annoying about it. So thank you, Mal, for putting up
No,
with
they're lovely to work with. It was a pleasure.
But yeah, I think personally for me, I mean, any crying scene is always pretty tough, and I think some of like Ryder and Juliet's fights were hard, but especially going from, you know, like leaving the spring break sort of like not sure of what my relationship with Ryder looked like, and then going home and having the big argument with my dad was definitely really hard too. I remember, like screaming like the lines in the house when we were going through that fight, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" And it was really like emotional, that moment, and especially with like, you know, the slap from my dad. I mean, that was definitely a moment I feel like where the dad, you know, stepped a little too far, and it sort of like became like, why am I like valuing the feud over my daughter's happiness too? And so that was a very layered scene, I think, because tensions just probably of almost the whole thing, like tensions are the highest in that moment, at least for Jules. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of like when I do see like a male character slapping a female. I don't care if you're a daughter or a son or whatever. So, but yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that was like a challenging moment, because it was just, yeah.
It's great to mention as well, because I wondered many times if she should defend that slap, because she does with everyone else.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much what Cayla was saying. She doesn't expect the father to do that. And it's revealing about the father, what he cares about. And then and that's why it's a surprise for her as well.
Yeah.
At that moment.
For sure.
Exactly. Yeah, because it does show him as a father, and the kind of father that he is and what he values. And I completely agree with that, because there are, and I'm not a big fan, like I said, I'm not a big fan of like the slapping and the punching and things like that. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes a slap does have a part to play. Like if it's like in that instance, it kind of was because of the fact that we're seeing exactly who her dad is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
yeah, and the length he would go to, for sure. And I think it just brought out a very vulnerable side of Jules too.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
like it just really showed how much her love for Ryder affected her, because she was like, yeah, similarly with Ryder, like he's ready to lose his family. She's like, I will too. She's like, this is such a stupid feud. I don't even want to be a part of it. And if this is how you're going to treat me, then goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to put into perspective of the father's character and his shoes. He's a single father, only child, overprotective, doesn't let Jules out of his sight, very sheltered. So maybe it's the protectiveness of him. I'm not justifying the slap, but I'm just saying, if you put yourself in his shoes and how he's trying to control the situation, being a single father and whatever situation that they were in, I don't know. I feel like it was beautifully played. It wasn't extra, or it wasn't extravagant or unnecessary. It was just perfect.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, in these, I've been slapped so many times that I'm like, every time there's a new slap, I'm like, no, do we have to? But you know, when you really get into it, I mean, in a lot of ways, and as you know, not to get super dark, but like, you know, like sometimes that stuff happens in life.
Yeah,
you know,
it does.
Like, it's not pleasant to see, but it is like something that things that have happened in life. So
Of course.
yeah.
Plus, Mauricio directed it, so you know it's going to be tastefully done.
Exactly.
Of course.
So
No, I think, as you said, Jennifer, we do hear like a lot of the feedback about this, and that's why I think it came. Oh, Jules, she was not gonna get slapped and then humiliated in this. You know, she was gonna fight back all the time, and I think it made her character more complex and bold. So when we have one slap, then it has some meaning and something to think. It's not just go slapping people around.
Yeah, I'd rather have one meaningful slap than of a shit show of a slapping competition.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So on the flip side of that, what was the most fun scene to shoot during production?
The dancing in the rain. For
Okay.
sure. Yeah. I mean, that was just such a beautiful moment. And Linden and I really, you know, we were listening to
John Mayer.
Yeah, John Mayer. And that was kind of like the inspiration for a lot of the dance.
We were scouring Spotify to find the track that fits the dance to kind of suit, like, you know, the tempo that we're dancing and what the vibe is. And we found Dancing in the Moonlight and some John Mayer songs that had those moments of, you know, the more party dancing and then the slower kind of steps as well.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know if you can fully register it, but I think the song that we sort of choreographed their like very intimate dance moment to was I think it was Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer. And then I think when everyone's dancing and it gets a little lively, the music when we were filming had switched to Dancing in the Moonlight. And so it sort of has like a fun flow to it because of that. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Linden?
I mean, that scene was a standout for sure. And the storyline of like the rain pouring down and then it getting postponed to the next day, but then turning out even better than I could have imagined with the flares and the hoses. So that was such a fun moment. And we had a lot of fun just like jive dancing out there on the very slippery tiles. And there's so much more footage, like in the uncut extended version. We did so much dancing. So like, yeah, some great footage there. And I love all the stunt stuff. Like anytime I get to do some parkour and stunts and fight choreography, I love that stuff. I just recently got graded as a professional stuntman in Australia. So that's like also a line of work that I do. Yeah. So anytime I get to kind of, you know, embody the physicality of a role, whether it's like getting in shape or, you know, doing the stunts and the fight stuff, like I'm always super keen to get as hands-on and, you know, practical as possible.
What about you, Mauricio, on a director standpoint, witnessing?
I think I was going to say something different because I think what was really nice we decided to do in terms of the production was to rent a resort house for us, and we stayed there doing the production. And then we would wake up, have breakfast together, lunch. People still have their private rooms, but you know, we were there together all day. And I would see Linden and Cayla doing flips and recording TikToks and having fun. And then jumping on the swimming pool. We were like, sometimes we were busy doing something prepared, and then they were there on the background doing their thing. And it was really nice. I think it brought everyone together. I love it there, you know, I love to be there. It was such a pleasure production to be there. Of course, we were rushing and working, but it was just nice to be together there. And so I love the atmosphere. And I think that's why all the scenes with them together, it looks and feels special.
From a creative standpoint, what was your biggest priority in bringing these characters and their world to life?
I think for me, it was getting a believable shift and, you know, when Ryder's an F-boy, you know, really embodying that and then showing a true character arc. And I like to think there's subtleties in that performance and the subtext kind of shines through, because I think very quickly, you know, that F-boy cringe, like it could cross lines where people are just like, hard no, I can't see any redeeming qualities. This guy's just full of himself. But having the balance where you're showing elements of their true personality and potential to grow as a human being within those moments as well. I think you kind of see some things that plant the seed early on in Ryder, where he's having second thoughts and doubting the narrative that he's always been told. And then that kind of leads to a smooth kind of character arc throughout. So that was cognizant for me of like, at which point is the story is Ryder, and, you know, how is his character arc progressing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, and we sort of talked about this, like I've played a handful of characters in my time that are damsels in distress, or, you know, don't like are saved by men a lot of the time, which, you know, can have its place in some scenarios. Like it did in this, you know, like Ryder saving her when after the drugging happened, you know, like that's great. But a lot of the other moments with Maeve and Jules, like Jules is able to stick up for herself with the pie in the face, and, you know, like her standing on her own 2 feet and just telling everyone that she's not afraid to be herself. I think that was something that I was really grateful that we had. And then also the fact that her personality that she has on spring break, like, follows her when she goes back to school eventually. Like she didn't go back to the nerdy shy girl. Like she was like hot and fun and you know, depressed, but also just like really she found herself. And, you know, thank gosh that Ryder and Jules ended up together. But even if they didn't, I think Jules would have, you know, been okay, you know, and grateful for the time that she had with him. So that's really important.
And it's interesting because I think that's my very last question here is, what do you hope fans take away from watching Spring Break Bucket List?
Ooh, Mal, you go first. Also, Mal, I don't know if you had an answer to that last question.
No, I will answer both questions. In this one, I think like you know, we are discussing about these verticals. Is something new? Where it goes? Is it a trend? And I think when I'm directing, when I'm trying to do originals a lot more than remakes, is we're always trying to bring something more, I think, to the table. And for me, it was important always to bring real actors that I love, and that I love the rotation of both Linden and Cayla. It's both beautiful. So I want to bring them to the right environment and give them the space that's necessary for them to bring their emotions on the scene. I really like method actor. I don't want to say do this or that. You know, like, oh, this is the scene. How do you bring that emotion? It's up to you. I believe in you as an actor, and I think that shows a lot on the screen and shows the depth and the range of their characters. And I think that's important, you know, to show. Verticals, they're fun, they're romance, but they can be meaningful, emotional as well. I think that's what I was trying to do and hope, and I think that can make verticals, push the bars a little up, and I'm very proud of it. At least.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, what do you guys think about the audience? What they should take away from your characters?
You can go, Linden.
Sure. I hope that people take away the power of being yourself and how that can set you free. And in Jules's character and Ryder to an extent as well, just embracing who you are as a person and how people will accept you for that, and the opportunities and how it can lead to a better life and more genuine relationships in your life. Because I think these days there's so many people scared of being judged or standing out, or especially in Australia and the UK, that tall poppy syndrome where you start to stand out from the crowd and people want to cut you down and bring you back to their level and think. And I think for me, I grew up in the country and moved to the city to pursue film and acting, and I've just been very genuine and honest about who I am and what I want to achieve and what I want to do in my life. And I think that's only given me amazing opportunities and amazing connections. And I think having that vulnerability and being genuine with people and just being yourself, it's like you're going to attract the right friends. Whereas if you're putting on some sort of front and pretending you're someone you're not, it's just going to attract fake friends. So I think in this, it's like the genuine relationships that can come out of being yourself and I think that comes through in the storyline. I hope people take that home.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that for Jules, you know, like she changed her physical appearance and had like that glow up moment before she met Ryder too. So that's also great that it was like a thing that she sort of did for herself, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I think similarly, yeah, like I think just both characters, really just were living truthfully to who they are and who they want to be, regardless of like all the pressures around them. You know, like they're dealing with their circumstances and navigating them and like having to make hard decisions. But like, it's just a reminder that it's also just a reminder that it's all going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like even the most serious things that you think are going to end your life or end, you know, your relationships with people, like you never know. Like they might get over it. Like nobody would have expected the feud to end because of our relationship.
Exactly.
We thought that was just going to, what's it called? I guess exclude us, but exile us from the families. We didn't expect there to be this huge resolution. And I think you see that too in the scene where our parents are fighting my dad and his grandma are fighting. And we kind of look at each other and we're like, what? Like, is this actually happening right now? This is that they're negotiating terms for the baby's name and for like our marriage. So that's great. And then, so that's from a story perspective. And then just in general, from a vertical perspective, I think, like that not all female characters have to be like damsels in distresses. Not all the men have to be like problematic, you know, like they can be very wholesome and caring and really like not try to change. I don't think there's like a single moment where Ryder tries to change Jules in any way. He always accepts her for how she is. And I think that's really, really beautiful. And I think he would have accepted her too in her like nerdy state, even though he might not have looked at her like really. But like but I think
didn't recognize her in the beginning.
Those jujitsu skills still remained under like the nerdiness. So like in that same situation in the same clothes, he probably still would have been just as impressed. So that, and then like Mao's storytelling and the script. I think it's just a huge reminder that it's okay to push against the typical tropes of verticals while still having some of those elements in them as well to make them feel like the genre should, with sometimes like less problematic storylines.
Yeah. And I mentioned this earlier. One of the things that I really liked about, I think, this vertical was the fact that, you know, we could see this beautiful love story and we didn't have to have all the spice in it or all the steaminess. Like it was just a general, like, feel good love story between two characters. And I think that was the beauty
they're
of
teenagers. That's another thing. Like watching too much spice as teenagers it's a little biased, a little perverted. Just saying.
Were they teenagers or were they like college age? Early college.
High school.
I think we were like 18.
Okay.
Yeah, 18 to 20, somewhere in there.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
High school? 18 to 20?
18 to 20.
I don't know. I graduated high school when I was 16, so I don't know. Maybe that's a shock factor.
Usually graduate high school when you're 18 in the US, at least. And then college sort of starts around that time too. So it's like in that age. But yeah, that's funny.
At least age of consent was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a lot.
I will start and I will go on there. Okay. In the last item of Jules' bucket list, they have to go skin dipping on the beach. They have to take, and then I told them, don't do that. We prepare some clothes, but they did for real. And all the crew was freaking out when they ran naked to the sea.
The last scene, they went skinny dipping.
Yes, and then we were like, okay, you guys just pretend, put some clothes here and run to the sea. But then when we see all the crew was laughing and going crazy because they just did.
Oh, the crew was going crazy with the thing. Okay.
So that's Mal.
Whilst on set, Cayla was presented with jellyfish noodles.
The entirety of the project was filmed in 5 days.
Oh.
Those are our 3.
Production was 5 days. Wow.
I don't know. Was it 6? Was it? 2.
Normal. I mean, you were in Vietnam. Over there, it's what, 12, 14 hours is like normal. Sometimes going into 16, 18-hour days.
Um,
Work ethic is very different in Asia. So I do see that as a believable thing.
okay. Sorry, I think Linden's is the lie. I don't think Cayla ate jellyfish. No, don't tell us yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to lock in our
until we
answer.
both locked
You know
it
what?
in. But
I was actually gonna go with what Linden said, but you know what? I'll go with what Cayla said just to be devil's advocate. I want to say Linden's choice, but I'll go with Cayla's. So we're locked in.
Okay, I'm going to go through them one more time just to be sure. So
Yes.
Mal's is that the skinny dipping scene was actually real, that we actually went skinny dipping. Linden's is that I ate jellyfish noodles, and mine is that we filmed it in 5 days. Okay, still same answers?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The lie was that we actually went skinny dipping.
I couldn't hear you. I just heard tapping.
Oh, that was me. I'm so sorry. It was the drum roll. It was the drum roll.
No, Mal's was the lie. Mal's was the lie.
Mouse was like, oh, so none of us got the point. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I was in like a bandeau and like 3 pairs of like nude like bathing suit bottoms. And Linden was in a pair of like nude shorts. Yeah. So we were fully
You were
clothed.
clothed.
Okay.
Oh, then I don't think I understood what Mauricio said. I thought what Mauricio said was you guys faked taking off the clothes and then you put it back on and then went. Oh, because I did notice that Linden had shorts on when was the very last few seconds when he was.
No.
Oh, so if I had, I guess that was a understanding problem. But damn, that's why they call y'all actors. Both of y'all played it off so well.
Yeah.
I actually did eat jellyfish noodles.
Okay.
Made out of
He
jellyfish,
loved
and
them.
it took me a hot second to really try. There's a whole video on my phone that Linden recorded, and I think it's literally a 2-minute video of me like being like so scared. Like I was scared to eat the jellyfish. I'd never had it before.
Was it
On
good?
that same tangent, I just have to say, shout out to Mauricio and shout out to the catering on set and the chef because we were so well fed. I literally ate everything they put in front of me, and they'd give me extra sides of protein to keep the muscle, and it was just like I was never left wanting. I had more than enough options, and like the food was incredible, and that was an amazing highlight. And it was really nice that we got to spend those meals together and go out for so many lovely dinners.
Yeah.
It was a really nice moment for connection and
sure.
like chilling and hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And production was 5 days.
Yes, production was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy. I should have went with my gut.
Actually,
so
it's
believable. That was so believable. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty short. It was pretty like quick, and yeah, I think staying in the house. We actually filmed. So the 4 days we stayed at the location where all of the spring break took place, and also even the well, I don't want to give I guess whatever, the wedding scene at the end, and then even when like Linden breaks in to the house on the wedding day, like that's all in the same place. And then the only things that we filmed on the 5th day were the beach stuff, anytime you saw us on a beach, and then all the school stuff.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the whole Ryder just going like crashing into the room or whatever, that was pretty epic. I was like, as soon as I seen him just busting through there, I was like, yeah, he's coming to get his girl.
And then they have those CCTV footage snapshots, like him going through here, dodging them, doing this.
Yeah.
Kind of 007 moment there.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, congratulations to the rest of you who got that correct. Now, instead of doing a rapid fire, we are going to play trivia. So I have some trivia questions here, and it's now a competition between the 3 of you to see who gets as many of them correct. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first question is, what was the first never have I ever mentioned at Ryder's party?
Was it never have I ever had a one-night stand?
No, sorry.
Cayla, got it.
Kayla got it.
Had a
Kayla,
one
yeah,
night
it was never
stand.
ever had a
Had a
one night
one-night
stand.
stand.
Wow.
Kayla
Wow.
won.
Nude pic was
I
such
love-
a funny one. That was
That's a
a,
new pick.
that's a nude.
Legend.
No, I said the
Legend.
first one. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Kayla
Yeah.
got it right. hmm
Yeah.
Told you it's gonna be hard.
What color and material is Jules' bucket list journal?
Pink
I
fluffy.
think it's pink and fluffy.
Yeah, okay. Mauricio got it.
Mauricio gets it.
We got.
What did you
half
say,
points.
Linden?
We got fluffy
I said
first.
pink and fluffy.
We share
Okay,
the
give it
points.
to them.
Fine. We'll give it to both of them.
Yes, go
Come
for
on,
it.
point
Fine.
aside.
1
Let's
point to
go.
both of them. That's fine. Okay, so the next question is, what color is Jules's suitcase?
Pink.
Blurt it out. Yes, Kayla got it. It was pink.
Pink? Question mark?
Hence the theme. Well, it was hot pink, but I'll take pink.
I thought you were gonna say extensions, and I was like, I'm ready. I was like, I know those.
Yeah.
Describe Julia's school uniform.
And
It
you
has
can
a
describe it after.
red, like white shirt tucked into like a tartan, like checkered skirt, and then like a red thing over the top.
I just wanted clothing. So go ahead. What was the first? Because there's 5 I have. Go ahead.
All right, so we have red cardigan, we
Yes.
have white button up, we have tie,
Yes.
and then you have like a kind of mauve like skirt, like a I don't know.
Skirt.
What the right
Okay,
color
I'll
is.
take
But
skirt.
it's like
Three.
with the
Yes.
checkered, yeah, and then like the classic black school shoes with the white socks.
What the heck, Linden?
Yeah, it was mid-calf high socks, but was it a tie?
Well, I didn't get that. I did not know that.
Wait,
Was it a tie? Was it a? I'm asking you, was it a tie?
Oh, I
If
Did she wear
if
it?
someone else blurts it, they'll get the
Oh,
point.
it's a tab tie. It's not like a tie, like a tab tie.
It's like a bow
private
tie,
school
yeah.
like a bow tie. Yeah,
It's like a bow tie, yeah.
yeah.
So I got
honestly
short
forgot
skirt,
about
white shirt, red cardigan, bow tie, mid-calf / high socks.
nice.
All right,
Yeah.
Linden, you get the point.
Nice, Linden. You really deserved that, honestly. I don't
He
think I
did.
would have a bow tie.
I worked for that one.
He really did. He really did. What's the last item on Jules's bucket list?
Skinny dip.
Go skinny dipping?
Yes, I
Okay,
think
Mal gets
Mauricio.
it.
Yeah,
Mal
Mauricio said.
Oh.
What? Who said? Mauricio said it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. You're all tied at 2. each.
Ooh,
I thought there could
Okay.
have been like a final one, like for the baby or something.
I know.
Oh, they never
but-
made.
Right,
No,
there
that's
was
like a
something
new
on.
chapter, though.
They talked about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sequel. Yeah.
Yes. Go
A
ahead, Jen.
sequel. Okay, describe the tattoo Ryder had done on his body.
Jules with a pink love heart, like a red love heart. Jules
Okay.
He got it. He got it. Come on, Kayla. You got to be faster
I
than
know,
that.
I know. Okay, I'm locked in. This next one's mine.
Name the piece of jewelry Ryder always had on. 2
Rings?
pieces of jewelry. Okay. He had 2 pieces of jewelry on all the time. Ryder.
Ring and
necklace.
a necklace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Who gets
fine.
it?
It's fine. We can split that. We'll each get
Yeah.
each get half a point for.
Yeah,
for-
I'm down.
I'll just give it a full point. That's fine.
What is the name of Jules' best friend?
Tess.
Tessa.
Full name. I want the full name.
Well, that's fine. They
Tessa-
can.
Does she have a last name? Tessa?
Yes,
I
she
don't
did. It
know.
begins with an A. That's the hint.
Albright. Tessa Albright.
Yes, Kayla. Kayla into that point. I gotta
Or
look out
Tess-
for my girl. Come
Yeah.
on.
Hey.
Does she say the surname? I don't remember.
The director. I thought Mauricio would get that point.
Honestly,
We don't say so.
I'm trying to think of when I said it
Yeah.
or when it was said. Maybe she said it.
So, what is the name of the school Jules attends?
Sacred Hearts, Blessed
Oh.
Hearts Girls Academy.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Blessed Hearts Girls Academy. Yes. Kayla, 5.
I think Linden needs more points.
Oh! Don't worry, I'm
Wow.
just making it entertaining, you know? what I'm saying?
Here
That's
is a
what
good
Linden,
one
you're at
for
4.
Linden.
Come on.
And he needs to know any of y'all need to know the first and last name. Linden's character's name.
Full name.
Ryder Marshall.
Okay.
Ryder Julius Marshall.
Oh, I don't have
Oh.
Julius on there, but
that was just
brownie points for that. What was the first thing Jules checked off of her bucket list? The
Glow
very
up.
first thing. Yes, it was glow up.
Glow up.
Yes, of course she would know.
Oh.
It was Ryder's cousin's name.
Maeve
Okay.
Marshall.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other
It
one.
was Maeve. Okay, Linden and Cayla are tied at 6.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So, what was the first item listed on Jules's bucket list?
Dream glow up? No.
No, that's the first one she checked off.
Oh.
But there was when it shows that.
Dancing under the stars? No.
That's in the ring? No.
Wait, what did you say, Marcio?
Out of my love. Make
No.
out of my love it. Huh? No.
Is it,
That's in the ring?
Crush stage fright?
No. Literally,
Oh,
you
None
showed
of us might get this one.
it was literally they showed it where she had her book, and then it just showed a bunch of bucket list items. And this, I'll give you a hint. This was executed in the whole thing. Like she actually
Learn
checked
to
it off.
swim?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh!
So,
Linden wasn't teaching her to swim. He was just checking the ass. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
She learned by herself. She learned by herself.
there you go. Yeah.
Stare at my.
Yes.
It's a great app.
Literally.
So, Ryder actually added something to Jules' bucket list. What was it?
Run away together.
Tattoo her name, baby. No.
Yes,
That's her name,
Linden got it.
What?
It wasn't run away. Nope. It was tattoo.
No.
It
Yes.
was tattoo her name.
Come on, you gotta get the next 2, Cayla, if
I
you want
have
to
to lock
tie.
in. I have to lock in. And then we'll be
I don't even have
tied.
a-
And then we'll need a tie.
I'll think of a tiebreaker on the spot. What color was the toy that Ryder discovered in Jules's drawer?
Yeah,
I'll give
Cayla
it
got
to-
that.
I'll
Give
give
it
it
to
to
me,
Mauricio and Kayla. I know,
Nice.
Mauricio.
Not that I
Now,
paying
was that
attention on
improv
that,
or was it actually written in?
I think it was written in, right, Mal?
Yes.
That he finds that?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
I just spontaneously pulled it out of the drawer.
I
I was
I
like,
know. I was like, damn it! It's played. The fact that you played it, and I was like, shit.
Shut up, Mal.
It started moving, and I'm like, shit.
that was improv.
that was fun to film. There was some funny Ryder moments that were very fun. Yeah.
He chucks it back in the drawer, and she walks.
I was saying that was improv.
Oh,
Oh,
it was improv. Okay. Shit, it was improv. So whose toy? Nah, let me stop. Let me not ask. Whose toy was it? Nah, let me stop.
so carrying on, Tessa kept comparing Ryder and Jules to what classic literary couple?
Romeo and Juliet.
There we
Yes.
Duh.
Oh
They
shit! It
died.
is a tiebreaker.
Is it?
It is. Kayla has 5, 6, 7, 8, and Linden has 8 too.
What? Okay.
Tiebreaker. Okay. A tiebreaker will be. Okay. Ryder's grandmother was wearing this piece of jewelry all the time. It's 2 pieces of jewelry. What was it?
Is it just a giant?
That's actually so niche.
That's the only thing I can remember.
She had dangly earrings.
Okay, but it was what was it?
Oh boy.
Golden earrings, silver earrings, but I'm
No,
not
they were like
specific.
silver with
Silver.
some blue or something.
With what? With what? I'm
Like a
specifically
crystal
asking.
in it?
Diamonds or something inside of it?
Like blue or something?
Mal, do
Okay.
you know?
I'm looking
Okay, fine. Forget about the earrings. What about what she had on her neck? Because this is obvious. What did
Okay.
she have on her neck?
Was it just?
It was silver, right? Like
You had a silver chain.
Oh my
She had a
gosh,
gold?
I cannot remember.
Okay,
for-
I'll give you guys a hint. This object / material is found in the water. Clams.
Shells? She had a shell necklace on?
It wasn't shells, but what's this-
Oyster. No, not oyster.
It's in a
Pearl.
shell.
what the material
A
is
pearl,
found.
a pearl,
Yes,
pearl
a pearl
necklace,
necklace.
pearl,
Yes,
pearl,
it was
I said-
pearl. It was pearl.
If we play that back, I swear, Pearl came out of my mouth.
Did you say pearl?
I did say Pearl.
You want another tiebreaker? Shit. Okay.
Look, okay.
What was the color of Ryder's thongs / slippers?
Oh, I was so
Blue.
confused.
Yes,
Was
it's
it
blue.
blue?
I was gonna say what was the color of Jules's wedding dress, but that's obvious.
White.
I thought you were gonna say what was the color of Ryder's underwear, the blue.
No, I said you're Aussie, so thongs. Get it? You guys.
I know. I was like,
Yeah,
he
I
was
get it,
wearing
I
a
get it.
thong.
Then I said slippers. Yeah, it was blue. Yeah, it was blue. Okay, well, congratulations,
Yeah, that was also
Linden.
pearl.
Fine. Wait till we watch it back, and if you didn't say pearl, then I win.
Yes, Cayla. It was
Look.
pearls though, because I distinctly remember her having pearls. The Aussie
Look,
grandmother.
I can accept a tie. I can accept a tie.
No,
with
it's
a worthy
fine. It's
opponent.
fine. I won't be that much of a sore loser. It's fine. You win.
Mauricio, what happened to you as director? I thought you would catch on to all of this.
I'm letting them know. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't forget.
Take that as like a
Some
small
of these
insight.
things I don't remember the curves. Yeah.
Yeah, take that as a small insight into what happened with the rain scene when Linden and I were like, ah!
Yeah.
And now just being like,
I'm imagining myself on set spectating.
yeah.
I feel like we're both so enthusiastic and have so much energy. So that was what it was like on set. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you guys had
Yeah,
fun with
fun.
that.
Well, thank you guys so much.
It was
Seriously,
super fun.
this was great.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah,
really
you're
great time
welcome.
talking with you all.
Thank you for coming on and thank you for
Yes.
participating. I tried to make it as fun and spontaneous as possible. To the
That
rest
was
of
great.
you, thank you for watching this very first inaugural special episode of the Vertical Take, the Hot Seat edition. I will link all of your socials and, the link to watch all the episodes of. There we go, Mauricio. He got it. Spring break bucket list. Perfect. And yeah, stay tuned for another episode of the Vertical Take. Until next time. Peace.
Thank you, everyone.